It's Teresa. Boys, what are you doing? Today I'm making spaghetti squash. I baked 2 loaves of bread out of Steve Keogh. Yeah, I did this morning and they're right nice, right? And I think I'm going to give one to a friend who's having a hard day. And then I'm going to keep the other one and have it with supper with my spaghetti squash. And I'm really excited too because I love spaghetti squash. You know that I never grew up having stuff like that. We never had vegetables like that in the house. We only ever had carrot and turnip and canned corn and canned peas. That's all I ever grew up with. And I hated vegetables, or thought I hated vegetables, and that it's just meat and potatoes. And we never had like asparagus with our supper and stuff like that, probably because people couldn't afford it, but because nobody did, right? Everybody had the same old stuff all the time. But now I like making different stuff, and I like cooking vegetables and stuff. I like the spaghetti squash. I does it like you does it upside down the pan and makes it, and to me it tastes like buttered noodles. I loves it. So, and I don't even like squash normally, like your pumpkin or anything like that, but this here is different. And I fills it up with the meat sauce, and then I broils it under the oven with some cheese on top. My dear, everything is good with cheese. I'd eat anything covered in cheese. Pretty much anything. Father's like always amazed when he sees stuff that I cook. He's like, how come I didn't know about brie? I'm like, I don't know how you didn't know about brie. It's not my job to teach him. Don't know. Never asked me. So, how was I supposed to tell you? But here you go. Here's some brie. And anyway, he loved it. So you never know unless she tries it, right? But like I hate trying recipes that I find on Facebook and TikTok and stuff like that. That drives me nuts because I looks at it and says, my gracious, look, you can make that casserole in like 60 seconds. Yeah, they cuts out all the bad part, right? They cuts out the part where you're trying to open all the containers and the can won't open. You're squishing it, and then you cut your finger, and then you got it all over the table and all over the floor and all over the counter and everything like that. And then you tries to puree the sauce with the hand mixer, and then the hand mixer tips over and goes all over the kitchen, right? It leaves out all that stuff. And anyway, the measurements, I hate measuring anything because I can't count 6. Like if I gotta put 6 cups of something in it, but I might as well forget it, because I'll get 4 in there and I'll say, is that 2 or 3 or 4 or 5? I don't know. And I can't, it's just like I can't pay attention to it enough. I gotta actually put out 6 containers and then say, okay, 1 cup, 1 cup, 1 cup, 1 cup. Well, boys, I'm not that bad, but I'm almost there, and I should be. So now I've kind of left it to the point where if I got to measure out 6 cups of flour, for example, I'll put it in a separate bowl, because guaranteed I'm going to have to measure it again, and you can't measure it again when you already get it mixed into everything else. Believe me, I've tried. So anyway, that's it. So I'm just, trying to focus on the good part of cooking. Right? The fun stuff. I actually do really like it. I loves trying different stuff, and I loves trying different foods. I loves the lady up the street who brings me Syrian food. She makes amazing Syrian food, and I absolutely loves it. Right? Like our food is very boring compared to what they got, like the flavors and stuff like that. Like I invited them over, right? And we had macaroni and cheese and something else. I can't remember now, but it was what their youngsters asked me for, right? So it wasn't like I invited them over for mac and cheese, right? But I will tell you that I did meet an Australian fella one time who said that he was invited out to dinner when he moved to Gander, and they had Jiggs dinner, and he's like, oh, it's an interesting meal, right? He never ever had it before, right? And he's like, it's right, salty and everything tastes the same, right? He wasn't really fussy, right? And if you never grew up with Jiggs dinner, I could see where you get that, right? Because personally, I don't like it, but I try to keep that to myself because I'm ashamed to be a Newfoundlander and eat Jiggs dinner, but I don't like it. Sorry. But I likes everything else. I likes peas pudding, I promise. Yeah, and I like dressing and I like other stuff, so please don't hurt me. But I do like, I don't like Jiggs dinner. But anyway, he went over to this buddy's house for Jiggs dinner, and he's just like, okay, that was interesting, right? But whatever. And then the next week after church, she got invited out again. So he's like, oh, okay, go to someone else's house. I wonder what we're having, right? Jiggs dinner. And buddy's like, Jiggs dinner, okay, again, same thing the boss had last week, right? Okay, well, we're new here, we gotta try it, right? Yum, 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 this is some good. And it goes home and goes, my gracious, not again, right? And then the next week, they gets invited out again. You knows where this story's going, don't you? You got it figured out by now that every time they gets invited out after church, they has Jiggs dinner. And they hates it. And they're wondering if that's all we eats. That's true story. He actually asked me, is that all anybody eats? And I'm like, no. But Sunday, that's what you're getting. Sorry, but, I don't have it, so you can come over to my house. So then he came over to my house and we had something different. Imagine. Anyway, that's it. But I guess people get stuck in their ways, right? Anyway, but it's nice to try new things. Two things, new things, pew things, woo things. Imagine, I can't even talk. Anyway, I hope you has a good day. And look at my recipe later. Maybe you can try some spaghetti squash for yourself. Anyway, have a good one.